told your whole team, you need to meet next Wednesday, 3 o'clock, very important, must be there, have to make a decision. No one can drop out. 10 to 3, maybe an important member of the team comes and says, sorry, family reunion. No, you put yourself in the leader's shoes. This is a potentially highly embarrassing situation. Do you put off the meeting? What do the rest of the team say? Oh. So when he says 3 o'clock next Wednesday, next time, that's okay. I might be playing football. Sorry, boss, playing football. You don't want that, right? As a leader, you don't want that to happen. You need some level of discipline. If you don't have the most brilliant person in the room, you have a problem, because you've got to get the decision right. So that's a very, very difficult challenge. I'll do one last picture on the board. Jack Welch had a way of dealing with, or looking at performance. And he divided, I don't know how many of you have seen this, people into 4 quadrants. Have you all seen this? You know this? Some of you know this? It looks like you know it. Right? Okay. So 4 quadrants. So you have, and people are composed of 2 things. They're composed of performance, their results. They have to achieve results. Do they achieve results? So you have people who are performers, let's say high performers, they achieve their results. And you also have people who are low performers who do not achieve their results. Year after year, they miss the target. Maybe just a little, but they don't do it. On the top, you have people who overshoot their targets year after year. But then you have another aspect to people, which is, let's say, attitude positive, attitude negative, attitude negative, attitude positive. Now what is attitude? Attitude in a team context is that you have, for example, understood the difference between I and we. That when you've agreed as a team, the way we behave is when we agree to have a meeting at 3 o'clock next Wednesday, we have that meeting. And we're all there. Unless we're dead. And even if we're dead, we're there. That's a little exaggerated, but attitude, right? And Jack Welch said, fine. So when you have these people, let's change the color. When you have these people, you certainly want to keep them in your organization. I think that's not a surprise. When you have these people, you probably don't want them in your organization. Here's where it gets a little bit more difficult. People who always achieve their results, but the people who say, I know we agreed we'd always have that meeting, but sorry, I've got an exception. I know you can't hold the meeting without me. Sorry, sorry about that, but I can't change it. And people who don't achieve their results, but who will never miss the meeting. And Jack Welch said, and this may surprise you, you keep those, and you don't keep those. And that's sometimes difficult to understand, because you are asking people to leave who always achieve their results. So why did he say that? Why would you do that? Any ideas? Yeah.
Because it's easier to help someone who's not performing to their standard. It's easier to help them to perform to their standard than to change their inherent attitude.
Perfect. Absolutely right. It's very difficult to change attitudes. Extremely difficult. And the impact of these kinds of people on the team, because they are high performers, people will look at them with respect and say, these guys always achieve their results. And there are also people who say, sure, the boss said have a meeting, but maybe I'm not available. So then they say, okay, well, someone who achieves results, who behaves like that, maybe that's the way we should behave in this team. So then they all start to behave in the same way. And then the team begins to disintegrate. And then you have a problem. Is that, I know you may not agree, but answer the question. Okay, anything else? Any other? Yeah. This one, where, this one? Yeah, exactly right, yeah. Performance can improve. You can help people, they need training, of course. It has to be part of any organization. Ongoing learning, absolutely. Attitude is much more difficult to change. Not impossible. I'm working with someone now in Hong Kong who has exactly this problem and who says the rest of the organization doesn't understand. The way I'm running my part is correct. The way they're running theirs is wrong. They don't understand. I've given up trying to explain. I'm just going to run my business. That is a perfect example of this. And when I showed him this graph, he was stunned. He had never looked at performance in those terms. He had only looked at performance in terms of, I produce the numbers, I must be good. But in teams, that is not good enough. And at least half of your performance, if not more, is about attitude. That's a good question. So you have companies organized today. All of you are rewarded for performance in some way, and usually that reward is individual. You must achieve whatever. Achieve a certain target. If you achieve the target, you get a bonus, you individually. So if that's your performance reward incentive structure, then you might say, why should I be interested in that? Now that is a real problem. There are some companies that have started to recognize that, and they organize a component of the incentive structure which is team-based. So if the team achieves, then everyone gets a bonus. If the team does not, everyone does not. That's quite radical. Not all companies will do that, but there are some that do. I did it. Sorry? Star performers will complain. But star performers, if they are complaining, might be in this part of the quadrant. In one of my roles, I organized the incentive structure broadly on those lines. You had to, not all of your incentive, but part of it was linked to the team performance. That's a good question. Anyone else? Yeah.
So I have an organization and my goal is only profit making. That's my sole goal. And in that case, if a person is performing high, I don't care about his attitude. Whether he attends meetings or not understand until he's giving me a performance.
You just want the results. You just want the results.
Yeah.
So that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it means then you probably don't believe this. So what you're saying is, as long as these people do what I want them to do, each of them has to produce 100%, I'm happy. And my response would be, if you take your team, put them into a room, make them a team, they might produce more than you expect. Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much.
That was great. Another loud. Come back.
Yeah.